A cash out refinance, what is it? What's it mean? So, a cash out refinance is simply meaning that you now have equity in your home. You've lived in it for a little bit, or you put a lot down whenever you first bought, and now you're trying to get some of that equity back in the form of a check. Cash out in Texas, the big rule is you got to have 20% equity in your property remaining. So, let's say your property is worth $100,000 and it's paid off completely, but you know it's worth $100,000. You can get a mortgage up to $80,000, so 80% of your total worth of your home. You can get that money back in the form of a check at closing. The big thing with a cash out refinance is just that piece. We got to know how much equity. They're great for really building swimming pools, debt consolidation. So you'll have a lot of people who have equity in their property, but they have $40,000 of credit card debt. And most would think it doesn't make sense to if you had a lower interest rate, do a cash out refinance and get a little bit higher interest rate. But depending on how much debt you're paying off, it can actually save you hundreds. I've seen people save thousands through actually getting a little bit higher of an interest rate, but paying off all credit card debt and just other debts that happen when life comes up. So cash out refinance, that's all it is. We're taking either no mortgage or your current mortgage. So let's say your current mortgage let's say your home's worth $1 million, just so we don't get any 20% issue. So let's say your home's worth $1 million, your current mortgage is worth $300,000, and you want $50,000 out to pay off debt. We would replace your mortgage with a $350,000 mortgage. So your mortgage is going from $300,000 to $350,000, but that $50,000 in increase, where does that money go? It goes to you. So you get, I said you get a check at closing. You don't get a check at closing. And that means that you got to wait 3 days after closing. So you'll go to closing, you'll sign the paperwork. 3 days after, you'll get a wire for the $50,000 or whatever it is that you choose for the cash out refinance. Cash out refinances, their rates are a little bit higher than a rate and term refinance. So you usually don't want to do both. You either want to do a rate and term to get the rate lower or do a cash out. Unless you have a really high interest rate, then we could accomplish both. But typically speaking, the rate's a little bit higher, but it's an easy way to tap into your equity that you don't have to go borrow money at a higher percentage to do so. Anyways, any questions about a cash out refinance at all, let me know. The fees on them are about the same as a regular refinance. You're going to be looking at, again, we can make it close to net zero once you get 2 months of missed payments and once you get your escrow check back in. But most all the costs are just rolled in. You'll have to pay an appraisal out of pocket, but everything else that goes on along with the loan will be rolled into the new mortgage. But again, you'll have ideally 2 months where we miss your monthly payments, and if you have escrows, you'll get an escrow check back to where if you save up both those and put it towards the principal again, which you wouldn't because you're already getting cash out. But if you wanted to, you can make it to where the cash out refinance in total costs you net zero. Again, not free, literally free, but after you save the 2 months and get the escrow check back, it'll be very close to $0 what you actually rolled in for the mortgage as far as the closing cost and escrow goes. Any questions at all ever, let me know. Have a blessed day. Bye.